בוקר טוב חברים, אנחנו נמצאים שערי תשובה, שער שלישי, אות מ'. Yes. No. Yeah, I said yes. Okay.
Yesterday we read Pei.
Yeah. Okay, today's compared to Tzadik, instead of Tzadik to Kuf. Anyway. Today's class, we're going to learn about ונשמרת מכל דבר רע. זה פסוק במשלי, there's a pasuk in Mishle that says a tzaddik has a beautiful wife. Someone who's tzaddik, he has a beautiful wife. You hear this? איך אומר שלמה המלך? So I once heard, what does it mean that tzaddik has a beautiful wife? I thought the one who married his wife, he thinks that she's beautiful. No. So, as any husband, I believe, when he married his wife, he thought that she's beautiful. So why Shlomo HaMelech says that the tzaddik's wife, she's beautiful? And the pshat is, Shlomo HaMelech Omer, do you know why tzaddik has a beautiful wife? Because he doesn't look at anybody else. So Memele, whatever he has, he thinks that she is the most beautiful thing. But the one who doesn't keep his eyes, so forget about comparison and all the Itzara, but in his heart, I can only wish. Hashem Yishmor, as people get older, yain, wine, as it gets older, it gets better, right? And we as human, Baruch Hashem, we look nice and we work on it also. Today, in today's society, there is things that keeps people young. But no matter what, at the end of the day, in some age, the wrinkles starts to come.
What?
The wrinkles starts to come also. And if you're a man, you start to lose some hair, and the color change, and your back, and your legs. Maybe it's not the same car. When you lease a car, it's brand new, 2-3 years, and then you got to change. You buy shoes, couple months, yalla, next. And the wives, Baruch Hashem, hamirot beze gam. They don't stay the same. If they don't stay the same, then what's the insurance that you can have a good marriage? And what's a pshat? כי הצדיק, העיניים שלו שמורות. The one who keeps his eyes, he has a good marriage. Now, we're going to learn about psukim, that Sha'are Teshuvah is going to tell us, ונשמרת דבר רע, שלא יהרהר אדם ביום, יבוא לידי טומאה בלילה. When you don't keep your eyes the way it should, and what comes בלילה, אדם יהיה atone, and more וכו'. It seems like, wow, everything is like a cage. But if you think out of the box, it's just the opposite. People who have religious people, שהם אנשים ששומרים על עצמם, they have the marriages are so high versus when it gets to the divorce crisis. It starts when there is always problems in the house, and one of the biggest problems is when you start to think something else, and a person feels that his home is like a cage, and I wish, and I could only wish, and the minute he gets divorced, he thinks that's it, he's free, and I can do whatever I want. And happens to be שאנשים שמגיעים to that stage, to that place, the marriage is over, and he thinks he's free. But as they get older, and after 10, 15, 20 years being divorced and not living with anyone, or living with whoever he wanted, that's where the smack comes in. Become alone. Kids have no time to anybody anyway. And they're alone. And they'll do it. Loneliness, that's what kills people. And they even die earlier. In the house for 20 hours, 30 hours, in the house. The skin. And then he starts to look back. והוא בוכה. והבכי הזה אין לו תרופה. This type of tears, it almost has no medicine to cure. Because who's going to marry you when you're 70 and 75 or 80 or אתה בכלל זקן. You don't function anymore. והכל, הכל, על דבר שטות, he couldn't control his eyes and himself and his desire. והתורה ידעה את זה. And the Torah is helping us. And the Torah helps us so much. תשמור על עצמך, you'll have a good life. Keep your eyes, keep your mind, keep your thoughts. Your wife will be the most beautiful. Your wife should be the most beautiful wife, the best friend. She'll be the best for you. כמה מסכנים אנשים שאין להם את הקונטרול הזה. They don't. והחיים שלהם זה בתוך זבל. He had to have two lives. Double life. בחוץ ובפנים. והאנשים האלו מסכנים. And you should know they scream for help, but they can't. והתורה אומרת לנו, just slow down, נמשיך הלאה. You think it's simple? In nowadays, with the cell phones, אתם יודעים כמה מיליוני בתים נחרבו? You know how many millions of houses got destroyed? Millions. אני כבר לא מדבר על הגויים שהם בכלל, אין להם בכלל marriage בכלל to begin with. שמעת או שומע על אחוזים של בגידות, זה 95% אם לא 100% בגידות שמה. אבל אנחנו, the Jews, the Bnei Torah, the people that we live in such an atmosphere that you gotta be so careful, has v'shalom, because the minute you walk outside, בשנייה to lose your marriage. ואדם יכול יהיה לו אישה יפהפייה, but he doesn't see it. And once again, a person can have beautiful wife, but he doesn't see it because he's watching other things, and those things destroys his marriage. וכמה חורבן, my brother, Shebari, he works in the bedroom for Gittin.
Wow. Here?
Yeah, bedroom. Yes. Always be Gittin. And it happens once in the blue moon that we sit down together and we share, we're brothers. We share stories. No names, but we share stories. He tells me stories you can't believe. People from yeshivot, yeshiva boys, innocent kids, don't even think of the best, innocent kids, went to yeshivot, and after a couple, and they get married, and after a couple of months they get divorced.
A month.
Not because they're bad. אתם מבינים מה זה? אין להם guidance בכלל, פלח.
Why? What's the reason to take it?
אתם מבינים לבד, I don't have to explain. האינטרנט, מה שהוא עשה, החריב את העולם, זה מבול.
You don't have internet. It's yeshiva books.
I love you. I love you. You in your yeshiva. See, Otzar Torah products are great. Very happy for all this. I love you. It's good. אתם מבינים? Do you think any crisis? חורבן. והתורה אומרת לך, ונשמרת מכל דבר רע. זה poison, הדברים האלו. זה מחריב בית. And you know who pays the heavy price after? The kids. Ya haram. Ya haram, ya haram. I'm telling you, when I see these things, זה נורא ואיום. And all it takes is self-control. Forget about technology and tag and school. I want to have a good life. Just close your eyes.
Also not putting yourself in the wrong place.
I'm sorry?
I guess that's the bad.
Habibi, you live in this.
Brooklyn is ridiculous.
You live in this global. Habibi, you live in this global. You have to know how to deal with life.
Look down.
No, I'm saying, but if we're already doing that, then there's, you can do a lot of other things, which is fine.
I don't know
So
where you're going.
You can't place, somebody can't place themselves in a situation where there's going to be sites there and then try to keep your eyes clean from being there.
Number one, there is tag. You go to Coney Island in the elevator, they tag your phone. That's number one. But again, if somebody wants with the tag and everything, is going to find the ways.
So what do you do with our kids? What do we do? The question is, what do we do with our kids? It's coming up, and we know this generation gets worse every day.
If HaKadosh Baruch Hu put us in this generation, it means we can handle it. It means we can deal, and our kids can deal better than us.
So do you block them from it because maybe they don't want to go in?
Number one, what the kids have to do with your computer, I don't get it. They should read books and not computers.
100%.
Okay?
Let's say the kid, he's going to get 8, 9, he's in school, you see other kids do this.
Habibi, you pick the school and pick a right school.
100%.
That's it. I don't go with what people like. I go with what's the right thing.
So you think
That's
it's possible
it.
to block them out of it?
I'm sorry?
You think it's possible to block them out because they're going to get curious?
Habibi, forget about curious. Number one, you put them in the right school. That's one.
Okay.
Second, after you put them in the right school, what's the atmosphere in the house?
Okay.
If the kid sees parents have an open computer, don't expect anything, any surprises to happen. That's it. אם אתה נותן לה, number one, no filter, but אתה נותן לה שלך לשחק עם computer, אז כשאתה לא בבית, he's right there. היה פה one of the schools, I'm not going to say names, ההורים הלכו לישון, parents went to sleep, and the kid, 13, 14 years old, הלך לקומפיוטר downstairs, ראה את חורבן העולם. הוא לא יכול ללמוד גמרנו, הוא לא יכול ללמוד. His therapist, it's a kid that age, פתאום, בגיל 13-14. אתה יודע, הוא לא יודע כלום פתאום, אתה יודע מה זה? זה טראומה לכל החיים שלו. איפה ההורים? איפה השכל? אוקיי. השם ישמור, עזוב, I don't want to talk about these things, אבל התורה אומרת לך, ונשמרת מכל דבר רע. Now, הפסוק זה לא, the pasuk doesn't keep you in a cage. The pasuk wants to keep you good and safe and happy. Stay away from troubles, and you'll be happy. I want to tell you something. One of the most beautiful things in the Torah, unbelievable. A town has to have 10 things. For a Jew to move to a town, or you want to build a town, there is 10 things that you must have.
Requirements.
100%.
Before we move.
Yes. And one of the most important things is to have a mikveh. If you don't have a mikveh, don't you dare move to that place. Mikveh, it's a must. More than a shul. If you have money, mikveh or shul, mikveh. That's for the kids. I'm telling you, it's not a verse. Shul or mikveh, mikveh. Shul is the men club. It's very nice. They like to run away. We go to the shul. Yeah, we chat, we share feelings over here. I see how we share feelings. As a man, pen patur, for a woman. עכשיו תקשיב טוב, אני רוצה להגיד לכם דבר גדול מאוד. There is two types. Marriage has to have two types of life in marriage. מה שזה נקרא בלשון של חז"ל, אש ומים. אש זה fire. ומים, it's something calm, stable, cool. In marriage, if you have a couple that everything is calm and cool and cool and calm and calm and cool and cool and calm, זה לא כזה בריא. You're missing you miss the spices. זה מת. זה מת. You come in energy in the house. There's no vibes. הכל רגוע, calm. אין כלום, אין חיות. It's missing life. לאט לאט, אני אגיע לזה גם בלי עין הרע. ואז יש לך, the other way around. It's called אש. mashallah, he and she are בווייב של אש. יש חיות. But sometimes it's too dangerous. Because if they clash head to head, Hashem ישמור, זה חורבן בית השלישי. So, fire all the times, you can't live like that. And water all the time, you're missing ash also. תראו, השתבח שמו לעד, מה עשתה התורה הקדושה? You cannot have fire all the times and you cannot have water all the times. But I want to have a good marriage. אומרת לך התורה, don't worry. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do 2 weeks and 2 weeks. Hatorah balance our marriage. We're going to have 2 weeks of water. Come, separate. כל אחד למקום שלו, כל אחד למחשבות שלו. שעו ככה for 2 weeks. And then, the Torah comes, we're going to bring the fire also. But watch this. Before you get to the sense of the vibe, the emotions and the touch, right before you get there, she goes to the water. שמעתם איזה יופי של תורה? אתם מבינים מה זה מקווה? זה ה-separation between, you want to keep marriage? תראו מה התורה הקדושה. בורא העולם that created the human being, ואת היצרים and the desires, אומר לך חביבי, בוא איתי, you want to have a good marriage? This is how it works. יש לך חיה, יש לך אש ויש לך מים ביחד. And to balance this together, it's 2 weeks and 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And at the same time, התורה ונשמרת מכל דבר רע. Now, you see, שערי תשובה זה לא a book to keep, תגיד לך, הכל אסור. The opposite. He brings you to the sense להבין why it's so great and why it's beautiful. Lama Torah is the best book on earth to keep marriage healthy and to keep your happiness and to keep your kids stable and on the right path. איפה האנשים הולכים לפובליק סקולס, המקומות האלו, וזה לא יאומן מה שיש שם. זה לא יאומן. But I'm not talking about that because אנחנו שלא עשם נקרא ברוך השם. But אני אומר, אנחנו, in our homes, in our houses, the key is, מי שהולך עם התורה יד ביד, not only that you never lose, but it's the most safe for us. So כשאנחנו מדברים על, now that, that's message number mem. מem א', ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, שלא לחשוב לעשות עבירה. ועל כל דבר פשע וחטאה. He's telling you, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, that's not only znut, adultery וכדומה, but even thinking about doing bad, the Torah doesn't want you. Don't have in your mind bad thoughts. שאנשים, the good people, but in their mind, they're called crime. I wish I could do, but I can't. I'm not going to do, but בראש שלו, יש לו מחשבות רעות.
זה גם אסור.
אומר, that also is bad. Remove.
Wow.
תחשוב, remove. He owes me money, I'm gonna get him. I don't know, I'm gonna slide. I got to do something. I got to do something. And his plans. He wants, but he can't. מפחד. Carbs, but he wishes. Even that thoughts remove from your head. זה לא עשה חכם טובים. זה לא עשה חכם טובים. And to why the Torah, how the Torah keeps us at least in the galut, in the exile, how we could keep ourselves safe and normal. This is the ABC. שאדם יכול להיות חיים טובים. כן. What, have any questions?
He's asking what's a heretic.
I'm sorry?
What's a heretic in English?
A what?
Heretic.
Heretic.
The person that agrees. Heretic, like,
אני לא יודע מה זה, ואני גם לא יודע מה זה מניק.
Scoffer, no?
למינים
He
הם
goes
משיעים.
against, he goes against.
אדם, יש כמה סוגים.
כמה סוגים של מינים.
Yeah, but the idea is זה מה שלא מאמינים שהקדוש ברוך הוא אל אחד. זה לא מאמינים שהשם יש one. What?
It's against Hashem.
ודאי it's against השם. But it's... אדם שלא מאמין, אבל לא הבנתי איך זה גאה לפה, איך הגעת לפה לבנתי.
במ"ם א', אתה כתוב שם, ולא משהו, ולא, ודברי...
אני עדיין לא הגעתי לשם.
הגעת למ"ם א', אמרת לו, תראה את הסוף, הסוף.
אני בהתחלה כפרה.
אני חשבתי, ואני שאלתי שאלה, וזה היה ככה.
Alright, it's okay. נמשיך הלאה. So מה כתוב לנו פה? ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם משתגגים. The Rabbi Alav Shalom used to explain this pasuk. I remember he was giving the class to people at the age of the whole crowd was 60, 70 years old and above. אני יושב בשיעור של הרב, I'm the only young guy over there, והוא מסביר להם ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם. What now? What can you tell her again? A guy is 75, 80, לא תתורו, רבו שתקשיבו אותו. The pasuk is split to two pieces. יש לא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם. The beginning of the pasuk is for the young. ואחרי עיניכם is for the older people. אז כן, הוא לא עשה עבירה, because that tzara already ran away from him. He's old already. אבל יש לו, הוא נהנה לראות בעיניים. שמעתם? יש לב ויש עיניים. And the rabbi explained, ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם, that's the young kids. זה הצעירים. ואחרי עיניכם, that's when you get old, 70 גם כן ו-80 גם כן. הוא לא עשה עבירה, חלס עצרה ברח. But he has הנאה to watch. הוא סופר, he counts the buses, and the people who go on the buses. הוא לא עושה כמובן סופר, he counts. אתם מבינים? גם על זה אומרת לך התורה, keep your eyes away. כי גם לא זה יכול להיות בחורבן גם כן. And by the way, what that says, there is a couple of people that people hate. כולם שונאים אותם. שאנשים שונאים.
People hate.
They can't stand this. Psachim Gimel, if you don't mind.
Two types of people or two types of things?
Yes, if I remember correctly, 3. יש 3 אנשים people, the society, they don't like them. Thank you much. Huh? Don't guess, because you're going to put some in the trouble. I hope that you find it. And it's the Basamolad. Four people. אומרת הגמרא, אין הדעת סובלתן. People cannot take this garbage, כמו שאומרים. דל גאה. You see someone, אין לו כסף, עני, תפרן, that's broke, and he plays big shots. יאללה, get out of here, what do you do בכלל? בקושי יש לו אופניים, he comes to the shul, he plays the guy like that. Confidence is not to be a big shot. It's a big mistake, but that's okay. Zaken menaef. If you see an older man, he still goes with girls. You get the dafuk. something's off with you? מה קרה לך? זה מחלה, זה נורמלי, זה שיגעון. And there's another two you can look after. There's also I keep it for you guys. You look inside. I'll give you the page and you look inside. So we stop right away.
What's the first one?
Dal Ge'eh.
Poor guy.
A guy who's poor, is broke, has no money, and he plays pictures on people. Get out of here.
I would say it's like a little positive on his kid because he doesn't have anything like steal. He feels good about himself. I would say.
לא אמרתי, he feels good.
Usually the guy poor has the
He's not confident, he's arrogant. He's not confident, he's arrogant. He's not confident, he's arrogant.
He's not confident.
Nothing. It's not confidence, arrogance. It's different.
Somebody gets divorced from his wife, גירש אותה, and then he gets married again, ועוד פעם מגרש, תגיד, אתה נורמלי? או אתה רוצה או אתה לא רוצה, מה אתה רוצה מהדוס? Get out of here. חדק וברוך.
Where's the fourth one?
I give you a surprise. יאללה, חדק וברוך.
פי ג', לא? פי ג'?